All right, man. You always talk about wanting audience interaction.
Mm-hmm.
I think the audience is really going to support me on this one. The poll question will be Euro Trip. Good movie
or
bad
great movie?
No.
Good movie or great movie?
Look, man, it's not a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It is not.
Eurotrip is a good movie.
No, I will grant you funny.
Average answers would be good, and then beyond that, great.
All right, bro. How about Step Brothers? Where are you at on that?
It's funny.
Yeah, see, that's how you should answer.
Not necessarily good.
That's Eurotrip.
I'm not willing to concede that point.
Why not?
Eurotrip has a special place in my heart because some friends and I used to watch it in high school all the time.
Were you high at the time?
I don't smoke.
I like how you answered that question. that tells me all I need to know.
I don't. And I didn't. Some of my listener friends might have.
Oh, they listen?
Yeah.
So you can count on their votes?
The one who, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to name names, but someone listening to this right after it comes out agrees with me that great movie.
How confident are you're going to win this thing?
I'm confident I'll win that vote.
There's just no chance.
Mm-hmm.
So what stupid rationale do you have behind that? Or behind anything in life, really?
I guess I always wanted to take a trip like that. And now I've taken a lot of them. And why do I think the movie's funny? Because it's funny.
No. What do you mean a trip like that? You like Scooby-Doo vanned across Europe? You didn't do that.
It wasn't like road trip. They didn't have a van.
Ooh, that's true. I have confused
they flew and took trains and stuff. I just wanted to go like to city and see all sorts of crazy stuff, which I've done successfully. This last trip, I did tons of it.
So you wanted to be a homeless migrant?
Kind of, yeah. I don't need a home. I can stay in hostels and with friends and stuff. You know how long I could go the entire rest of my life without ever being technically homeless and always have like a place to stay.
Do you mean technically home with?
You
could go the rest of your life technically without a home?
Yeah, without a home, but not being homeless because I could always stay with so many other people.
I still think by definition you're homeless, dog.
And I could go like from country to country and state to state. Yeah, but it's different if I'm doing it that way.
It's different if it's planned.
Yeah.
If I didn't wind up here, I meant to do it.
Yeah, if people are inviting me in their home and I'm always traveling, I'm not homeless, I'm traveling.
No, then you're just a carny.
No, different. I'm traveling. Anyway, what spawned this Eurotrip conversation was the fact that on my trip, I also went to the best city of all time, Bratislava.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Is this going to be the same Eurotrip conversation? Maybe it's a good city.
It's a great city.
It's not.
It's a great city.
It's desolate. I've seen it.
Fine. I'm not being sarcastic. I went to Bratislava, and it was great. Period. Now, if you think Eurotrip isn't a great movie, I'm willing to have the conversation that maybe, in some aspect, it's a bad movie.
Did you stay in a hostel while you were there?
So, we'll come back to that. That's a story for 10 minutes. Yeah, so I was wanderlusting around Europe, obviously. I was in Vienna.
That's a verb, wanderlusting?
It is now, #wanderlusting. It makes it sound sleazy, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Like I crave a new country.
I had to get all up in some new country.
My latest cultural desire. That's bad.
Terrible.
So, yeah, my bad. I don't know if we should beep that or not. So, obviously, I was wanderlusting around Europe, and I looked at the map from where I was going to be next. So I was going to be in Vienna next. I saw this when I was in Nuremberg. I was like, okay, well, Bratislava is apparently really close to Vienna, and I just want to see what other major cities are as close to the ones I'm going to be in case I need something to keep my attention for a day. So I went ahead and looked it up, and I was like, okay, yeah, Bratislava is an hour and 15-minute bus ride from Vienna.
So you didn't seek it out. It just happened to be close by?
Yeah, it was just a thing when I saw, though, I was like, oh, man, I have to see how close I am to that because of this.
But did you check to see how much money you had in your pocket before you went?
Oh, I had $1.86. But, so I was like, you know what? I wonder how cheaply one can get from Vienna, Austria to Bratislava. So I checked a Flixbus. Turns out you can get that if you book like a week in advance or something like that for about $11 round trip.
Did you book in advance? You didn't
I
book
did.
in advance.
I bought the ticket.
Wait, this was pre-planned?
Yes and no. So I bought the bus ticket thinking, you know, I think I'm going to really want to enjoy my like 2 days and 2.5 days in Vienna. So I probably won't use this bus ticket. But if I cram in all the Vienna I can handle on one day, then on the next day, I'll just go ahead and use this bus ticket.
So you filled yourself full of those little cocktail sausages, and then you were on your way.
Yeah, if I had enough sausages on Thursday, I was going to go to Bratislava on Friday. So I bought it. Why not? So I went to Vienna. Well, that's a story for another day. But like, I had all the Vienna one could handle on Thursday. Even after my train like broke down and then I had to wait for a while and then take a bus all the way into Austria, and it ruined like half of my first Austria day.
I thought you were going to say even after the train broke down. So I had to get out and pull it the rest of the way.
There's a lot of cars. But we did lose half our cars in Passau, which I was going to have to trade. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Beside the point. But if it was like 3 cars, I could have pulled that. Yeah, so I had like all the Vienna I could handle in one day because I made new friends in Vienna, and we went and did everything possible. So I woke up the next morning. I was like, well, obviously I need to go to Bratislava for the day. So I just packed my tiny little backpack, and I got on my Lime scooter, and I took it all the way 2 miles into the wrong direction from the bus station because my GPS messed up a lot. And then eventually I finally made it to the bus almost in time.
Were you wearing a designer backpack, smoking a cigarette, just being as douchey as you could be on your little Lime scooter?
So part of the reason I planned Copenhagen for the end of the trip was because I knew that'd be the only time I'd be tempted to smoke. So I hadn't been smoking.
I gotcha.
But if I'd started the trip in Copenhagen where everyone's cool and smokes, I probably would have been smoking by Vienna, obviously. I don't have a designer backpack either. I just have a travel one that makes me kind of look probably like a tourist. It's neon green.
Did you fanny pack this trip?
I didn't take a fanny pack on this trip because I had a double backpack. Because I had a huge trail backpack and then I had my smaller backpack. So I didn't fanny pack on this trip. It would have been excess bagging.
You just would have been showing off.
Yeah, if I had a roller bag, a fanny pack would have made sense. So I went ahead and eventually got to the bus station in time to take my bus to Bratislava. Hour and 15 minutes later, we're crossing the UFO bridge, and boom, Bratislava.
Underwhelming as it seems?
The UFO bridge?
No, Bratislava.
No, it's great. So's the UFO bridge. Legit. If you haven't looked it up, Google it. Just right now, stop listening and Google it. It legitimately looks like a UFO. That's this bridge.
By stop listening, he meant hit pause momentarily and then resume. Because if you listen through, the stats are better for us.
Yeah, keep listening. Don't stop, actually. How far do people have to listen for us to get the view?
The longer they go, the better it is.
Okay, please keep listening. So, we got to the UFO bridge. Boom, got off. And damn it, I was going to enjoy some Bratislava, Pete. And I did. So, I walked around for a little bit. And I made it to the middle of Herzog Square. And by the way, don't try and speak Slovakian. It's like Hungarian. It's impossible.
Do they even speak it? What?
Only they speak it.
You have to be initiated?
Yeah, only they speak it. I don't know if on Duolingo you can even put that as a thing to learn.
Really?
I don't know, but I'm going to check it now. I used Duolingo for a few weeks to try and pick up some more German. And then I stopped trying.
You're a disappointment to your heritage.
Yeah, especially when my name is such good currency in Germany. I really dropped the ball. Let's see. It's still set for German. It's pretty disappointed in me.
As it should be.
We'll come back to that later and see if we can add Slovakian in the mix. So, as with most of the other cities on this trip, the first thing I did was a walking tour because I wanted to cram in as much Bratislava in one day as humanly possible.
They don't have Lime scooters in Bratislava?
They did. I think so.
So why don't you just scooter tour, bro?
Yeah, because then I would have had to actually look stuff up. And this way I could just give 10 euros to the tour guide and feel pretty good about the 2 hours I just spent actually looking at Bratislava stuff and learning about the history. I want to learn about the history, Pete. This is a pivotal part in the world. There's a lot of Cold War era stuff here. There's a lot of World War II era stuff here. I need to know. Tell me about it.
You're kind of a nerd. So
also, super cool thing. When we're walking around at one point, I wouldn't have noticed this. The tour guide who I became friends with, she's awesome, pointed out oh, hey, you see that thing that looks like a cannonball in the wall of that building? And everyone's like, yeah. She's like, it's a cannonball.
You see that thing that looks like a oh, yeah, that's what it is.
It's a cannonball. And she's like, if you pay attention when we're walking around the rest of the city, you'll see other buildings with cannonballs in them that people just left and kind of mortared around because they wanted to remember all the war and the fighting. So some buildings just have boom cannonball.
You're going to remember that for your future house?
Yeah, sounds cool, right?
In it?
Yeah. And then I was somewhere else and I saw roundabouts in Europe. And in the middle of the roundabout, you know how there can be 2 lanes in the roundabout? They were separated by cannonballs.
No.
How smart is that? So people can't be douchey, wavy drivers weaving in and out of lanes, not signaling and stuff.
Or you get cannoned.
Also, another thing that's wrong with our country and not with Europe, people turn signal in and out of roundabouts. out of respect.
You don't do that?
You know how easy that would be? I do it now here, but I'm the only person that lives in Carmel that does it.
Okay, now you're adding caveats. But yeah, I mean, legally, you're obliged to signal your intentions in that regard, sir.
Are you supposed to?
Yeah.
In a roundabout?
Yeah.
No one does.
I don't disagree with you.
Legitimately, no one does. I don't know if they know.
Well, it's like people in a right-hand turn lane. Well, hey, I don't know why I put hand. It could just be a right turn lane. Oh, hey, it's spray painted on the ground. You know what direction
That's
I'm going to go.
stupid and doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Yeah, I hate people on these turn signals. It's so disrespectful and selfish. Anyway, so I learned all this awesome stuff about the country. It's only been an independent nation for 29 years, man.
That's fewer years than you've been alive.
Yeah. When we were born, it was a communist nation that was shared by another nation. So it was Czechoslovakia, broke apart, Cold War ends, all of a sudden, boom, democracy. A lot of the older generations than us are still very like communist sympathizer.
Oh no. Did you straighten them out? Did you have that argument with each and every person?
I only spoke Slovakian. I didn't learn that on Duolingo. Only German.
I wonder if Czech's on there.
Has to be. More people go there to Prague. I was even told by the tour guide that most people only go to Bratislava because it's in the middle of Prague, Budapest, and Vienna. So a lot of people just stop there for a day or two on their way to another city, not expecting anything, so they're always pleasantly surprised.
If they had expectations, or are you saying they would not be pleasantly surprised?
I don't know, because now I'm going to pimp it up to everyone and everyone that listens to this and tell them they should go to Bratislava, and it will live up to the hype.
Go to Bratislava for what?
Fun.
Well, I would assume to, be on vacation and whatnot. But what's happening in the Brats, man?
It's a super chill big city. It's beautiful. The whole place is gorgeous. It has the Bratislava Castle. It has UFO Bridge. It has great street art. It has this creepy statue of a dude coming out of a manhole cover smiling all creepy.
Is that like their version of the Underground Railroad? What is that?
I don't remember what it symbolizes, and the tour guide had multiple explanations, but there is a statue like of a dude legit coming out of a manhole cover, and it's like a really creepy smiling dude.
Bratislava salute to the upskirt?
So, yeah, she said one of the reasons that the architect supposedly made it smile is because it's supposed to symbolize him looking up the skirts of women. But that's probably not what actually happened.
And we're pro Bratislava?
Bratislava is great. But also, so it's technically on a sidewalk, but because people always like to cut their right turns too close, people apparently would hit it and mess up their cars because it's like solid brass. So now there's a street sign right next to it that says creepy manhole man statue.
Why didn't they just drop in some cannonballs? That solves a roundabout.
They should have. Yeah, just so people nail the cannonballs first, and then they'll learn. And everyone just wanted pictures with it. So like the only picture I got of it on my phone is with a couple on top of it being all weird. And if you rub the top of its head, that's prosperity and good luck. If you're a woman and rub its nose, you're supposed to get pregnant.
Tell me that there were women like in skirts standing over it for that photo.
Oh, someone had to. I'm sure anyone in our generation did that because they thought it was hilarious.
That's so creepy.
It was a cold day, so I don't think too many people were wearing skirts or dresses. But if they were, that's a perfect photo op.
If you're pregnant by that creepy statue guy, what does your kid look like?
Hopefully better than he does. He looked not great.
And hopefully less brass.
Yeah, less brass. Great teeth, though. They made him with good teeth. Yeah, that's really important. So we did that. Did the tour, made new friends. By the way, the tour guide, who was awesome, she told me that she did a year studying in America for high school.
And she came back, huh?
Yeah, she actually never been back to America. She said she wanted to, but the important thing is where she studied in high school, man.
Beverly Hills, 90210.
Midland, Michigan.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, Midland, Michigan. It's like an hour-ish away from Saginaw. Sagnasty.
No one calls it Sagnasty.
Oh, yeah, they do. The best city next to Flint in Michigan. But why does that matter to me?
Mostly.
It just so happens that two of my best friends went to Midland High School, Pete. How crazy is that?
You gonna try and name drop?
Jake something and Brandon nothing anymore.
Just Brandon?
Just Brandon. He doesn't wrestle anymore. But Jake something and Brandon, the Painkillers, they went to Midland High School, man.
Were they signed by AEW?
Jake signed to Impact.
I don't think that's what I asked.
I think Brandon signed to some police force.
They ever wrestled Jericho?
They haven't.
Just not even on my radar then.
Neither has Simona. She's also not wrestled Chris Jericho.
Well,
but
she's
probably not.
She's in Bratislava. Ask me if I care.
So, but yeah, how crazy is that? Like, I'm 4,000 miles away from home, and I run into somebody who went to high school with 2 friends of mine. That's nuts.
Did you then make fun of them?
I've still actually meant to text them and be like, oh, hey, guess what? I met this human being. And she was even like, oh, well, there's 2 high schools around there. Are you sure they went to the same one? And I was like, hell yeah, I'm sure they went to the same one.
That's a thing that all friends know about their friends, what high school they attended and graduated from. Obviously.
Yeah, I would know that. And I should have been like, yeah, it was the 2 biggest guys to ever come out of that city.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I'll take your word for it.
Probably pretty close. Bratislava was great. There were some other super cool things besides the creepy statue. There's the blue church, man. Also called the Disney Church. It's eerily blue.
Why is that a thing?
Like sky blue. It looks like a marshmallow.
What is this, the Church of Stay Puffed or what?
I have no idea why it's a thing, but it's awesome. It's beautiful, and it's just blue. It looks like legit you could run your car into it and bounce back. Don't.
For those who enjoy a fluffy Jesus?
But you could, or you could eat it. We weren't allowed inside, but she told us,
because it has no structural integrity.
She's like, you can put your phone up to the door, though, that's the window that's tinted, and take a picture, and if you put it right up against the window, the picture will come out crystal clear. And the inside, all the pews, everything is only white and light blue. It looks so sugary.
Is it still in operation?
Yeah, there's still mass there every Sunday.
Why didn't you just go to mass?
It was Friday.
So?
There's something, I think, happening there Saturday, too, so she told us that, but I couldn't go. I had to wrestle. I chose to go wrestle in Budapest, which is a story I told the other day.
Yeah, the old party hostel at the Pest.
Yeah. So, there's some other cool stuff too. And then, I went to this dope coffee shop that had like great reviews, hidden in the middle of nowhere, had poppy seed cheesecake.
When you say dope coffee shop.
Yeah. No, there's not there. I don't know how they feel about marijuana.
So it was like a cool coffee shop.
It was a really fresh coffee shop. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. And I had Makovi cheesecake and a lungo.
And that's why you popped your drug test.
Oh, man, that'd be so great if I did fail. And I'd be like, no, man, I just had some cheesecake in Bratislava last week. I swear.
Wouldn't that be great? It's like, well, what difference does that make? Well, there were poppy seeds in it, obviously.
Poppy seed. It was Makovi cheesecake, idiot.
And then you can only follow it up with condescension.
Yeah, like, have you never been to Bratislava? Plebeian.
Dude, that would be so great. Can we fake that now? Like, let's just fake a drug test. Here's your YouTube video series. Stuff that's kind of like real life, but would be funnier.
I do like it. Yeah, I do like it. I'm trying to think. What else did I tell you was super sweet about Bratislava, Pete?
Nothing.
Everything.
You said it was desolate. The whole thing was just eerie. It was abandoned.
I hear it's very depressing in the winter. But I was there in the fall. So it was beautiful. It was just a little bit cold.
And the hostel you stayed in there?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So the tour guide did say, she's like, so... a lot of people are actually kind of leery of traveling here because a couple movies over the last few years or decade have painted us in kind of a negative light. Does anyone know what those movies are? And no one said anything right away. And I raised my hand. I was like, Euro Trip. She's like, yep, that's one. She's like, but that wasn't the worst one.
We're okay with that one. Michelle Trachtenberg was in it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, wait. And because for just a split second, I was like, what other movie was set in Slovakia? And then someone else was like, Hostel, which I've never seen.
Bruh, that's an Eli Roth masterpiece.
And then I was like, and she's like, yep, that definitely didn't help our tourism. Didn't help our hostels by any means.
You know the premise of that film, right? Involving tourists and hostels.
I completely know the premise now. I actually, a few days ago, told Russ Jones this story, and we watched Hostel 2. He didn't have the first one.
Oh, or you would have watched it with him?
No, because you and I agreed to watch it.
Look, Russ doesn't want heat with me, mostly because he doesn't know who I am. And so I don't know if he might initially be intimidated, but he doesn't want heat, man.
Russ just got into Instagram. He might get into podcast next. I'd watch what you say to Russ.
What? He's trying to move in on this podcast stuff too.
He might be. I'm just saying, don't upset him.
Look, just because he's physically several times my size, doesn't mean that I'm going to take any shit off of him.
Doesn't mean that you have to, but it kind of means that you have to.
I think, his physical size might kind of mean that.
It makes a difference.
A little bit.
He's real big.
Yeah.
So we watched Hostel too, which also is set in Slovakia. Doesn't make it look great. It makes it look fun until the murdering.
Was it shot in Slovakia?
I don't think so.
You didn't see the Marshmallow Church?
No, there's no blue church, which that's how I would have known. Like, they should have totally put that in the movie. Tourists being like, oh man, why does this look like I can eat it? But like, actually, the movie obviously wasn't shot in Bratislava, but it looked similar-ish. You know, like it was probably shot in some European country. You know what I mean? But apparently Slovakians aren't the biggest fan of the movie Hostel. And I'm not, because you know how many people I stay at hostels all the time, and the first thing is, oh, I would never stay at a hostel because of that movie. You know how upset I get?
There's other reasons maybe.
I had this conversation like 2 days ago with a friend of mine.
But there's other reasons maybe not to stay in a hostel.
No good ones.
Legit. Well, people prefer
I want my privacy.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
That's dumb.
People prefer a certain degree of privacy.
People prefer to burn money.
Or maybe a facility that's dedicated to them, if that's a concern.
I don't get it. You're burning money.
Well, and also, I feel like there's certain rules and regulations, and I don't know if this is the case in other countries, but like hotels in the States have to abide by, or they like get sued and that kind of thing. I don't know if the process is the same for hostels or not.
The main rules, don't be a dick.
No, I mean, not so much that as, oh yeah, these sheets won't have bed bugs. And if they do, there's repercussions, that kind of thing.
See, but on Hostel World, the app you use to book a hostel, like the reviews tell you everything you need to know. So if it's rated less than like a 9 or an 8, like, maybe don't stay there. I will. I don't care. I've stayed at some 6s and 4s.
I've been at some disgusting hostels.
Yeah. I've been at a crack house in London that had like a 4 rating. I should have known better. I should have paid an extra $7 and stayed somewhere else. But I didn't. I stayed at number 8 at the White Horse.
Just burn that money, man.
Yeah. But you'd know. Like, I didn't look any hostels up in Slovakia, but I'm sure they were great because it's a beautiful city. And I hear they have a great club scene.
They probably just don't have any hostels there. They went out of business.
Not now. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if there was a hostel-themed hostel? They just fully leaned into that.
That would be great.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone would stay, though. I wonder if that's too genuinely scary.
It might be. I wouldn't actually be. I wonder, can a city sue Eli Roth?
Yeah. For
like
defamation?
Sure. Could Slovakia just sue him?
Well, that's why there's a lot of that disclaimer garbage at the end of movies, because that stuff happens.
Yeah, because she even said like it hurt the tourism game. So
which was pretty terrible before, but now it's just awful.
Not a lot of people were coming anyway, but a lot of people just drove right on past via train because of Eli Roth and Quentin Tarantino.
So support Slovakia and visit Bratislava.
Yeah, if you're in Prague, Budapest, Vienna, go out of your way to go to Bratislava for a day.
Because the cheesecake is swell.
Yeah, get Makovi cheesecake from that place, the name I forgot.
But it's super dope.
It was great. And also get a lungo.
I'm not even going to pretend I know what the sounds you made mean.
Yeah, it's a coffee, Pete. I know a lot about coffee.
Is it a single origin?
Obviously it's a single origin. I believe it's like a weekend, like kind of like an Americano, but with a little bit of extra love.
What region does it hail from?
I believe it is an Italian.
You see, I don't know enough. Wait a minute. Are you talking about a longo as in a type of coffee, or are you talking about an Alongo bean?
The coffee I ordered was Lungo.
Okay. I was like, wait a minute, because there's...
like an espresso or an Americano, but it was a lungo.
Longo, yeah.
They didn't speak English there.
So that has nothing to do with the bean.
Only it's Slovakian. Yeah, I know. It could have been from anywhere. Probably from Greece.
But based on the flavor profile...
Probably from Greece. Yeah. Yeah, coffee was brought to Europe, by the way. So people like in Munich and Vienna that have all these coffee houses and stuff like that, like, it was brought there. So
do you impress women with your nerdery?
Maybe don't be so pretentious. Cafe Frauenhuber in Vienna.
Tell me there's a Cafe Frauenhuber.
Oh, I went to Cafe Frauenhuber. Yeah, Mozart and Beethoven used to play there on the reg. That's why I went there.
What?
Yeah, that's a story for another day, though. But for real, I went to the Mozart Beethoven's Cafe Frauenhuber in Vienna. I do these things.
Because I'm cultured and shit.
Yeah, it's my life. Being cultured and womanizing.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. What else did I tell you that was super cool about Bratislava, Pete? Oh, when I was walking down the big hill near Bratislava Castle, this is an aside. And you know the Obey Giant sticker?
No.
By Shepard Fairey? Okay, you've probably seen it. So, like, by the way, on Hulu, there's a documentary called Obey Giant. Watch it. There's an artist called Shepard Fairey, and he came up with this picture of Andre the Giant, right? And it's on a lot of stuff in the entire world, and it usually says obey under it. And it's like the political statement photo.
Yes. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so Shepard Fairey does that. My buddy Graham from United States of Indiana, we've been homies since college. He's very inspired by Shepard Fairey. So as I was walking down the hill, I saw the Shepard Fairey sticker, the Andre Obey Giant sticker. So I went ahead and threw up a United States of Indiana sticker under it just for my homie.
Did you then take a picture?
I did.
Did you send it to him?
I haven't yet. I meant to. I'll probably text it to him tomorrow.
Why are you saving that?
Why
are you saving that?
I was going to put it online, but I took so many pictures of like the Blue Church and stuff that I had to put those online because those would get more likes.
You're just denying him joy to be a dick, aren't you?
No, he'll appreciate it. I'd rather see him in person and be like, hey, man, I did this thing because I'm a friend.
It's very sentimental of you.
Yeah, no problem. So, yeah, that was Bratislava. That was super sweet for a lot of really cool reasons. There was also like a lot of political stuff she told me that was going on too. I won't get into. But she was talking about she hopes at the elections next year that pretty much the whole regime gets overhauled.
So it's basically like season 2 of Jack Ryan, but instead of Venezuela, it's in Bratislava.
Absolutely. I've never seen that movie either.
It's a TV series.
It's not set in Slovakia, right?
No.
Good. They don't need the bad publicity.
So support Slovakia.
Yep, support Slovakia. And support Off the Cliff Pod, at Off the Cliff Pod, and Jake Oman at Jake Oman 2012. And Pete at Multimedia Hustle, soon to be Multimedia Muscle. And we'll catch you next week.